Hello, friends and foes! Apologies for the wait, but the results for our Smash 5 Ideas contest are rip-snortin' ready to go. We asked you folks to share ideas for a new game mode, a new story mode, and/or a new fighter's reveal trailer. Turns out we received much more entries for the latter, and have therefore decided to break the results up into 2 videos. Right now, I'm about to reveal our top favorite story mode ideas, followed by our favorite game modes. Part 2 will be entirely dedicated to your new fighter reveal trailers. But for now, here are our top 3 picks for story mode ideas. Many entries in this option were great, but got too caught up in the plotline specifics, resulting in basically a variation of Subspace Emissary. Not that that would be a bad thing, but we were hoping for more of an overview of something completely different. Therefore, we narrowed our picks down to 3 who coughed up something fresh for a new Smash game to offer. Octavian story mode suggests that Smash fighters are being snatched up by a new villain and forced to fight in arenas for entertainment against their will. An Inkling girl and boy, new prisoners of this dimension, plan to escape and encourage the rest of the fighters to join them. The player would work to escape this horrid place, and furthermore, travel to the Valley of Portals to return fighters back to their own games, at the same time being hunted by enemies from the kidnapper's dimension. Can our heroes make it back to their respective homes before their greatest foe closes the portals and takes them hostage again? Well, you'd have to play to find out. The Diamond Dragon story mode focuses more on the idea of the player making choices. Not just choosing between Peach and Zelda, but instead making decisions that ultimately take players on new adventures each time. Diamond Dragon shares a few of their plot examples. For instance, when Meta Knight rescues the Inklings from a looming threat, the player has a choice to either escort them to safety, where they'll inevitably run into some trouble with Skull Kid himself, or to follow after Kirby, who heads straight for the cause of Inkopolis' destruction and find answers. This would offer players many different paths to take and hours upon hours of fresh stories to discover. Navi Boy's entry takes place in the aftermath of Master Core's defeat. Unable to explain the phenomenon that occurred, the Smash Bros. Fighters decide to accept that their realms are forever merged and learn to live in peace with one another. However, Navicles explains, peace did not last very long. A mysterious figure emerges from the depths, splitting itself into 12 pieces that are sent out in search of the 12 original Smash veterans. Once found, these fragments possess the original gang and cause them to go rogue, wreaking havoc throughout the world of Smash. A group of former fighters, along with some newcomers, rush to gather together in hopes of saving the 12 veterans and defeating the being responsible. But can they do it? Can they save their respected friends? Will this new foe's defeat be the answer to changing their worlds back to normal? Will this finally be the end of the Smash Bros. Universe? Tell us, Navi Boy, please tell us! I mean, yes, awesome entry, I'd love to play it. And now, here are the top 5 picks for new Smash game modes. Tag-in mode centers on one of the few good features of Smash Tour, using a different fighter for each stock. In this mode, the players could set the stock and choose a different character for each one. Therefore, each time the player dies, they move on to their next fighter until their lives are all gone. You could strategize by starting off with lighter characters and moving on to heavier weights, or by choosing your various mains for each stock. 'Twould make for a consistently fresh battle experience. Ball Reflect Rally, besides being a tongue twister, may sound quite simple, but would offer some unique and fast-paced gameplay. This single or multiplayer mode would see players guarding a wall from oncoming, well, balls. After 2 hits, the wall would crumble, ending the game. Therefore, players would have to use attacks to reflect the flying projectiles as they increase in number the longer the players stay alive, and the longer they stay alive, the higher their score. Smash Tag is essentially a game of tag, except that once the tagger tags someone, that player joins them in racing against the clock to tag the others. This mode would take place on a larger stage, one specifically made for this minigame, and could have up to 8 players, local or online. Tagging occurs when a player is hit. However, those who are on the run would be unable to attack at all. KevClip suggests players could also interact with certain items throughout the arena, such as the cloaking device and others. If the timer runs out before all players have been tagged, the runners win. If all have been tagged by the end, well, you get the picture. The renowned Brandon Lowry describes Super Smash Tactics as somewhat of a chess game, combining live-action battles with turn-based gameplay. The player and their opponent would each choose 10 fighters. These fighters would be represented by game pieces and would be placed on a chess-like board. Players would take turns moving fighters across the board, collecting items or stat boosts along the way. Certain spaces on the board could also potentially have traps, temporary buffs, or nerfs. The object of the game would be to knock out all of your opponent's fighters. To do so, regular Smash battles would occur once two fighters collide, and the loser of the match would be removed from the board. Therefore, targeting a fighter with weaker stats than your own may be your best option, while your weaker fighters should probably steer clear of trouble until better equipped. This nail-biting game mode would test one's fighting skills as well as their ability to outmaneuver opponents. This multiplayer mode may sound simple compared to the previous entry, but honestly would be a ton of fun, especially with friends. The match begins with Sandbag himself sitting peacefully in the middle of the stage. The objective would simply be to KO the Sandbag. The player who deals the final blow would receive 1 point. If Sandbag is killed by a stage hazard, nobody gets that point. Once the timer hits 0, the player with the most points wins. Play for 1 minute or play for 10. Customize the launch rate or play with hectic items. However one decides to play, this would surely make for some unique and exciting gameplay. And now for the real #1 game mode. Players fight on top of unicorns. Just kidding, but that would be amazing. And now here are some honorable mentions. If your name is on this list, your idea was considered and nearly made the cut, so huge congrats to these folks listed here as well as our winners. And thanks to everyone who took part in this mess of a contest. Be sure to check out part 2 where we showcase our top 10 favorite newcomer reveal trailers. Also, don't forget to check out our new film channel, Erickson Cinematics. It's a little barren right now, but over time it'll find its footing. The link is in the description. And if you haven't already, do us a kindness and subscribe to Erickson Gaming, your new destination for more contests like these, as well as discussions, comedic videos, live streaming, and much more video game content. Once again, thank you guys for watching.